top, dude.
And, I was say, and the ammo slots in sideways and fixes itself once it gets to the front. It's such a weird little gun.
Uh-huh. It's so good.
Hello, Internet.
Shells shoot out on the bottom behind you. Oh,
Uh-huh.
it's great. It's a great day.
I love the P90. I love Stargate. But SGU, man, that fucking pilot is. Yo, dude, you played an MMO and solved a mathematical equation that nobody can solve. So
All in
now,
day's work.
congratulations, you're now hired to the military. By the way, sign this NDA.
Yeah, you're on a spaceship now.
And wasn't that the SS Hammond as well that they teleported them to?
Yes.
Which I think is a really nice reference because it's like, oh, Hammond of Texas.
God, we need another Stargate TV show. I think it has to be like every... Because what are we at now? Like 10 years now?
Roughly, something like that.
Yeah,
about
every
time for
decade
another one.
we should have a new Stargate.
Well,
Yeah.
they've been working on shopping it around for a while now. They've got an idea for another one that they want to do.
Yeah,
I just-
here's an idea. Finish SGU.
But don't.
It's crazy
don't,
enough to work.
Don't. The problem with SGU though is
that they
That
were onto
is not
something really cool.
yes, but that's not going to be resolved until quite literally, like I think it's like 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah, guess what? Make a fucking franchise out of it.
Well, we could
mean-
never.
Okay, so the amount of shit we give Marvel and everything these days, correctly so, and DC and everybody for making an intertwined universe, Stargate was doing it first.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they had the main show, then they started Atlantis, and they started an animated show all at the same time that all connected to each other.
God, I forgot about the animated show. Yeah, we need a Stargate.
In real life, let's go.
Yeah, that too. But the
Okay.
shenanigans we would get up to.
I agree we could do with the new Stargate. My big thing is don't add another notch onto the dial. Because the original movie, it was like
Yeah.
5. Then on this season, they went to like 6 to be able to go to multiple Stargates, like 6 notches to dial in essentially. And then on SGU, they were like 7, baby, let's go.
You know what? Go back to 6. Have it
Yeah.
be somewhere else. And then, this seems like it happened many years in the future because we have all this old history about a ship that brought us here. We're not originally from this galaxy.
Hmm.
Bum, bum, bum.
Higher than Imp and Moon.
I would say Pol and Andromeda.
That's right. Okay.
Apparently, there's conversations over Amazon for this to be happening.
No.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It was better than Netflix, but no.
True. I will say I did watch the first few episodes of the Fallout TV show, and they fucking nailed that.
Yeah,
thing.
I've
I'll
heard
tell
that's
you
really
that
good.
right now.
I gotta
I
watch that.
still need to watch that, yeah. Better than the Halo one.
Well, low bars.
I mean, that's what happens when you're streaming to Peacock, I guess.
That's right. That's right.
There's a reason why WWE ain't there anymore. Let me tell you that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpear
Hi.
and the Nymph.
Hello.
Let's put a quick plug here for Patreon. Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
$5 tier is a recommended tier. That's per month, not per episode. You get all the cool stuff like exclusive access to the Uncensored Outcast, where we spent a whole ton of time this episode talking about TV pilots. What are your favorites? Did we call them out? Go sign up for the Patreon. Go find out. We talk a lot more about Cat P and a bunch of other stuff. So go check that out over at the Outcast.
Best non sequitur ever.
Yep. Go check that out over there. You also get early access to We Rogue Like It and Critical Misses, exclusive access to Critical Misses production meeting. We just recorded one. Is it our first one without a left turn? You'll have to find out. And you get exclusive access to the Wayward Sons Supernatural TV show watchcast that Moon and the Nymph are going through. All of that and more, patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
Putting a quick plug here again for my upcoming fundraiser. I'm going to be live streaming on January 31st at 2 p.m. Pacific over at twitch.tv/BostonHannon. I'll have a 2-hour block. My fundraiser goes live on the 23rd. So if you want to learn about more, if you want to donate, you want to get some cool incentives for Destiny 2, go to check out DestinyEmblemCollector.com. I'm rounding on $250,000 raised lifetime. So that's over the last, I think, 2 years.
In the words of streamers everywhere, let's go!
I'll take it. So go check that over there. If you play Destiny or you just want some cool JPEGs, you can get some stuff over there. It's only $25 this time to get some cool stuff, so go check that out. And I will put another plug in probably next week for my live stream. So I live stream once a year, and it's fun. So I'd like to live stream more, but
twice a year, dude. Twice a year. We've got to keep the anniversary in mind for going forward.
Yeah, now we've introduced a second stream, so yeah.
Yes. So now all we need is 1,000 more patrons, all at like $50 a month, so we can stream every day, baby.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah. All right, Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, I started off by playing Gris, which is the Game Club game that Boston didn't talk about in his intro.
Every month. Yes, so Gris is our most recent Game Club episode that's out right now. Our next month's game, which we will be delaying the recording of by a week, is Citizen Sleeper 2. We're going to play that for this next month. But because it's not coming out for like a week and a half more, we're going to push recording back a week. So
yes,
come play Citizen Sleeper with us. 2.
Also, massive credit to Torek in the chat for doing the Dragon Ball Z joke about the episode number.
Yes, thank you. Episode 9,000.
Yeah, it's a fraction of 9,000.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
That's right.
I literally mentioned it as we started recording, then completely forgot about it until right then.
That's right. 10% of the way.
Yes.
We're doing it.
No, 10% left to go until we finally shut this thing down forever.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, baby. It's time. Anyway, I didn't play a whole lot this week because I had a lot of work and catching up and stuff like that to do. But I did play too much of one thing and not enough of a different thing. So I played a little bit of Dying Light 2. We're trying to plow through the story missions unsuccessfully. Because they're so long and so confusing. I jumped in this and I was playing with Rob, and there was a mission right at the start of the game where you have to basically organize this raid. And I realized we've been playing this game for about 10 hours now, and we are still getting tutorials about mechanics in the game.
You're still on story episode 1.
Yes, basically. And it's like, oh, this is like a bandit camp, and you can liberate it and increase like the faction standing of your choice in the neighborhood. Never the peacekeepers. Never the peacekeepers.
No.
So, just go liberate this thing. It's like, okay, so we had to go meet up with this group of people who were planning to go and attack this camp. It's like, okay, the leader of the resistance is Sophie. She's here, and then we finish talking to her, and then we look around, and she's nowhere to be found.
Uh-huh.
And the quest changes to, where's Sophie? Ask around and find out about Sophie. So you walk 2 feet away from this campfire and talk to the scientist dude and the scientist dude with dementia and his son. And you're like, where's Sophie? And then like, she's over there. And then you turn around and she's literally 5 feet away from you. So you get into a conversation with her and you start this whole thing and you go in and you raid this place. And then at the end, it's like, okay, well, I think we've got a traitor in our midst or whatever. Like, we need to do something. You go look into this, and I'll meet you back at this other place. And then as soon as the quest updates, it's like, talk to Sophie. But where is Sophie?
Oh my God! Dying Light 2, please.
Literally, I mean, the funny thing is, it's a woman with an Irish accent, not red hair, unfortunately. But a woman with an Irish accent who we're literally have been speaking to and arguing with for about 5 hours, it feels like at this point, and we're only like 2 minutes into the story based on how the map looks.
Yep.
And I'm just like, me and Rob are literally in hysterics, dying of laughter, because it's just like, where's Sophie? Every quest it updates and it's like, find Sophie, where's Sophie?
It's like a
And
kid's
she's
book of
literally-
like, where's Sophie?
Yeah, and she's literally there. Like, you could see her. As soon as the cutscene that you're in ends, you can see Sophie. She's right there. There's Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
It's we literally we couldn't stop. We were just in hysterics the whole time because at this point I'm even skipping dialogue. I'm like, okay, I can read faster than you can talk, so read, skip, read, skip, read, skip, read, skip, read, skip, because it's just like I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give me my grappling hook and give me my glider already, please, and thank you very much.
Now where's Sophie?
Yeah, I would literally expecting her to show up in a red and white striped T-shirt just for
That's right.
just for fun, but it's ridiculous. Anyway, the only other thing I've been playing, I hate the fact that I'm about to say this so much.
Uh-oh.
I hate this.
Oh boy.
I
You're in a safe place. You're among friends.
I'm not, because I kicked this habit for like 6 years,
Oh no! What is this?
and then now I can't stop playing again.
Is it Elite Dangerous?
No,
Okay.
thank goodness.
Thank
no,
God.
I don't.
I was
no.
gonna say.
Oh
No.
God! The weight off my, the weight off
Oh.
my soul.
Don't worry. Let me just take that weight in a 1v1v1 cube format and put it straight back on your shoulders.
Uh huh.
Because the only
playing
other thing
Minecraft?
I've been playing is Minecraft.
Oh no!
Don't. Oh no, you know this because you know what I've got in.
Because I'm
mind.
also playing a lot of Minecraft.
Yes.
So
So
did both of your guys' like cycles sync and you're like Minecraft?
No.
That's what it is.
No, it's my
Apparently,
kid. Is just like, hey, you know what sounds really great? Getting all the way into Minecraft in the way that only kids can, where from the moment she wakes up to the moment she is still falling asleep, she is talking about Minecraft or planning or building something in Minecraft or playing it with her friends or reading. I got her this Mojang puts out a 4-book.
Oh, did you buy the book stuff?
Yeah, I bought her the.
I got those for my kids too.
It's like a 4-book box set that has like a kind of like shiny foil covers. They're really good. There's like one for survival, there's one for combat, there's one for creative. They are really good books, but like consistently reading those, which I'm definitely not going to stop her from reading a book, that's for sure. But also, I love my child more than life itself, but please, God, I'm so tired of playing Minecraft.
So, for several reasons. I'm just going to say for several reasons and leave the explanation there. People who know me will know, people who don't know me won't. That's absolutely fine. I accidentally,
No.
quotation marks, accidentally, started using Minecraft Realms.
Right. Right.
And for those of you who are out of the Minecraft loop, like I was for 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and don't know what Minecraft Realms is, it's basically, hey, you want to pay some money and have a server.
It's a lot like the grounded, like persistent server thing they were doing over there. Of like, you have a server
Yes.
that's always running, and people can just, you don't have to fire up your console or your PC to run the server. It's being hosted somewhere.
Correct. Probably on whatever why can I not
Microsoft
remember?
Azure.
Thank you. On yes, on Microsoft Blue,
That's right.
is probably where
Oh,
it's
Microsoft
hosted.
Blue Sky. Yeah.
Yes. I do love the pain that came across your face when the word Azure was mentioned, by the way, Nimb.
Yes.
It was
My
hilariously
spirit.
Yeah, guess
relatable.
who's taking SQL classes right now? Yeah.
That's right.
Uh-huh. So I now have a Microsoft Realms account. I have a Microsoft Realms world.
Mm-hmm.
I need to stop playing this, but I'm not going to, and I know I'm not going to. So hey, community members,
Let's say how much you putting into the server, huh?
Well, I'm paying for the Pro Edition, so
Oh, the
wow.
Pro Edition. Wow.
yes.
We went all the way.
Mr. Rockefeller over there.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
No-
Rockefeller with my $7.99 a month, which
I
I'm
was gonna say.
sorry is fantastically cheap.
Yeah, it's not.
For
Oh
what
yeah,
it
it's
for
not that
server
bad.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a Realms account and a Realms World, and I am opening this up to the community. If you want to play on the Minecraft Realms server with me, with family members, with the rest of the community, that is fine. I am allowing everybody who wants to join into. How the Realms account works, though, is I have to grant permission for people to be able to join in, which. Thank you for not just having a public server option. I just no. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that is nice.
We are running Vanilla Bedrock Edition.
Okay.
Okay.
So no mods, nothing like that. It's Vanilla Bedrock Edition. So if you have a family member, if you had kids, if you have anything like that, and you want to play Minecraft with a bunch of people in a shared persistent world where everybody can build and then you can do whatever you want whenever people are around, feel free. Send me a message. Send me a message on Discord. It goes through your Xbox gamer tag, so you need to be on my friends list for me to be able to send you an invite to it. Just don't just randomly add me, like especially if I don't know your name.
Yeah.
Like send me a message and say, hey, this is my gamer tag. I want to get in on the server. So, for example, if you want your little one to be able to jump into the server and play with the rest of us, just let me know his gamer tag. I'll add him in, send him an invite, and he can join. It's super simple. When you're in the main menu, it gives you the worlds that you can play in, and it's got like my worlds where it's like saved on your PC, and right at the top in purple is the Realms world, and it'll it will say TVGP, and it will say my name is the owner, and you can literally just jump in. I've been playing this a lot because what I'm currently doing is building a welcome to the world building with starting supplies for people.
You got your tourist building going there.
Yeah, your little welcome package.
Visitor center, yeah.
Yeah, so I want everybody to
Get some pamphlets.
That's
Enjoy your
right.
time around.
Welcome,
Here's a map.
welcome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and have as a starting option, I'm going to try and have a food supply, some basic tools, and a map. The map is the problem at the moment because you need to make a compass to make a map, and you need paper, and I can't find. I think it's sugarcane you need to make the paper. Can't find that anywhere at the moment.
Honestly, once you do find it, though, like that stuff grows
Oh,
so
yes.
fast. So
Definitely.
at least
So-
it used to. It's been forever since I've played. So
Exactly. Same. So I'm like introducing myself to all these things all at once, and it's kind of bonkers. So I'm doing that at the moment. If you want to come in and help, knock yourself out. Come in and help. If you want to come in and just immediately go do your own thing, absolutely fine too. I swear, if you steal my diamonds, I will murder you.
Leave him alone.
Speaking of which, I am setting rules for this. Ideally, I don't want curse words in the chat. I want limited language, like strong language. Basically, I'm running the show rules.
Yeah,
on
imagine
this.
if like you were playing along with like a 7-year-old.
Exactly.
Be
So
cool.
I want
that's
want it to
exactly
be-
why, actually. Yeah.
yeah. I want it to be a safe space, not just for community members, but for community members' families too. Because
Yeah.
I know quite frequently, like the only reason Boston's playing Minecraft is because his kid is playing Minecraft. You know, I want that to be the safe space for everybody. So Nimp and his kid can come in, or even Nimp's kid can come in, hang out and talk to us, and then be like, oh, that's Moon, I know him, that's, you know, my dad has spoken about him before, and have a safe space to communicate with us where we don't have to sit there and explain the threats of online to other people's kids, you know?
Right.
Boston's not having to explain what the C word is to his daughter, because
Exactly. I want it to be that nice, calm, reserved space. It is on survival, and it is on easy. So I'm not... This isn't a hardcore server. If you die, you'll respawn. I'm not interested in doing any of that stuff. I just want it to be a nice, shared, safe space. With that being said,
violence abound.
friendly fire is on. I'm just
There you
saying. That's just in case you need to teach your kids a lesson.
That's right.
You know. I am playing this mostly on the PC. The thing I really appreciate about this is I can literally load up the Realm on my PC. If I get fed up of playing it on my PC, I can jump over and play it on my Xbox, and it's literally in seconds. It loads up the exact same world. I'm at the exact same point. Everything is the same.
Oh, nice.
It's great. You can then also load it up on tablets and phones and all of the other different ways. That's one of the reasons why I'm sticking with Vanilla Bedrock Edition, is because it's the most easily accessible one for everybody. Sorry, Tarek just dropped a bomb in the chat.
The C word is Cheevo.
Yes. Also, this is the edition I don't have the achievements on, for the record. If you are playing this on PC, you can activate ray tracing mode with a vanilla world.
I thought I saw you with pictures.
So that is one of the things that I was trying to hammer out as well, because if you go on the Minecraft marketplace, there's a bunch of ray tracing worlds that Nvidia have put out that you can load up, and it's like, oh, this is the ray tracing world, great.
Right.
The problem is everybody has to have that world, that pack, that everything to be able to use the ray tracing aspect of it. There is a gentleman who's made a ray tracing texture pack, which you can turn on or off on your individual device, that does not affect the actual server itself.
Okay, sure.
So if you're interested in that, I can also help you with that. I will find out the texture pack's name, and I'll send it out in a chat or whatever. But it's super simple. You just download a texture pack, you double click it while Minecraft is open, it installs it, you activate it, then you can jump into the server, and it's ray tracing. And let me tell you, it's a game changer.
It, like, when they announced originally, they were like, we're gonna do RTX for Minecraft. It's like, that's a really funny April Fool's Day joke. Like, that's hilarious for Minecraft. And watching people play it, it's like, no, dang, that looks really good. What the heck?
Yeah, it's so part of the thing between jumping between my PC and my Xbox in this is the difference it makes is genuinely unreal. Because I started playing it on the PC, and the home base I'm trying to make it a safe space. So I've got fences, I've got lights to try and avoid creeper spawns and everything else that's going on. So that's what I mean when I say I'm trying to make a nice safe space at the start for people to gather their wits and figure out what direction they're going to go in. For some reason, I decided to make the floor out of granite, because it's like, I've never used granite before, because granite literally did not exist in the game when I previously played it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going to use granite. And there's a version of granite called polished granite. And it's in the base game, it's literally just a different texture.
Okay.
In the ray trace version, it's reflective as hell.
I was going to say, is it its own light source?
Yeah.
So the floor outside of the home base, when the sun is setting, you can see it bouncing off the polished granite floor. It's just like, what have I done? I've got myself into an absolute hole here where I'm literally I've got a ray tracing texture pack on, and I'm using materials specifically for their reflective properties.
Yeah, you're way into it.
This has become a problem now.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle this. Except for, community, please come and join in, and bring your children too, please. They yearn for the mines, I believe is the phrase.
That's right.
So bring them in, and I'm not saying stay near the spawn point. I'm not saying stay near the thing. I'm just saying, come on in. It'd be great to for people to sit there, build a bunch of stuff, and be like, oh, you want to come and see the castle I built? You want to come and see my house?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, let's go, and then just go do that. That's one of the reasons why I wanted the Realms option, is because I want people to be able to jump in when I'm not online, which is a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, send me a message, hit me up on Xbox. All I need really is, or on Discord or Blue Sky or wherever, literally all I need is your gamer tag, and a gamer tag of anybody who you would want to join in. Like I said, with Nim's kid, I'm sure he has his own account at this point. So
he's still using my wife's.
Okay, then I'd need your wife's account,
which is funny enough, just a play off of mine. So.
Of course. Oh wait, yeah, I know it. It's on my friends list, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think
So,
you already have it too, because she
I
didn't
can
want to come up with
literally
the name. Yeah.
I can just send you an invite, or not an invite, but I can basically give you authorization to join into the server at any point.
Okay.
So
Sounds cool.
there you go.
There be
Enjoy.
lava everywhere.
Welcome to the Nightmare Factory, which is Minecraft, everybody. I hope you enjoy playing it for hours and hours on end like I do.
That's right.
How did this happen? I hate myself.
Oh boy.
But that is all I've been playing. Nimb, take me away.
All right. So, first thing, this one's gonna be real quick. You don't have to pull anything up for it. I did beat East 10. I've been having a lot of problems trying to figure out how to talk about this game, because every time I start talking about it, I want to start talking about its relation to the timeline and everything, and then it just leads to spoilers. So that's why I've been kind of weird about it. I've had a lot of fun playing this game. I beat it. I really enjoy this game, and now I'm at that point again where it's like I've beaten an East game. It's like I kind of just want to go through and play all of them again now. So I just need Falcom or Xseed or somebody to release 1 and 2, and then finally get the 5th game out here, so that way we can have all of them, and I can just go through all of the games to date.
Right.
So that's where I'm at right now. East 10, great game. Really loved it. Had a great bittersweet ending that they all have. My next game is also going to be super short. You don't need to pull anything up for this. I only played like a tiny bit of Cloudpunk. I did like 1 delivery mission. Turns out it was a bomb.
Oh well, had to happen.
Pretty positive it was a bomb. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I haven't had a chance to go back to that yet, because the main one that I've been playing is Alan Wake 2. I am to the point now where I have switched over to playing as Alan, and I am in the Shadow world. Per Persona rules, shadows are everywhere.
Sure.
I kind of don't like the new, I guess, the shadow versions of the shadow.
They're weird.
You know?
They look weird.
Because they don't have like a human host. It's just a shadow. So a lot of times you just have to use the flashlight, like the focused beam on them, and then you burn them away.
And to be honest, some of them aren't even real threats. Some of them are just fake shadows, like reflections. And if you walk through them, they'll disappear.
Yeah.
And then other ones, you'll try and walk through them, and they don't disappear, and that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, you get got, and so, but I've found a couple words of power, which I really enjoy how that whole system is shaping up. It was the same thing. Did you actually, Moon? Did you talk about that last time at all? Because you're a little bit further than I am right now. The words of power.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Because I haven't really got into it too much to where I've started playing with it yet.
Okay. So the words of power are basically like these, they're like these words that have been written out a bunch of times into like a tight circle, and you have to hold your flashlight beam on it, and eventually you earn that power. And then when you go into the mind place for Alan, in one of his drawers, you pull it out, and he's got like these little scrap pieces of paper, and the certain words of power will give you a point for one of those scrap pieces of paper, and you just pull it up. Like one of them was just called like words for stuff, and like that one allowed you to carry like 1 more flare in your inventory, or like have an extra space in your inventory space or something like that. Another one was for like health. So it's like you're improving the stats of Alan while you're doing this, and the same thing happens with Saga too, to a smaller extent with the manuscript scraps. So I played a lot more of that. I got confused because I didn't notice while you're going through the map, there was a spot like on the rooftops where I was like, how do I get over there? And I didn't realize that when I went through this door that it was sending me over there. I was on the other side. And I didn't realize that for like the longest time, and I was trying to find something.
So, you know, Boston, you remember the ashtray maze? You know how it blends perspective and spaces and does weird things with them?
This does a really good job
of that. It does that exact same thing where, like, there's an area that you'll be exploring, and you'll go up some stairs, through a door, through a corridor, through another door, and then you're on street level. You're like, wait, how did I go upstairs to go through a door to get to street level again. This makes no sense. Like in my head, my video game mapping mind is just like, no, what happened?
But then you realize, because you find another actual person in there, which I won't ruin or anything, and they talk about how it's like, oh yeah, you've been helping me with like this dream world, and it's like, that's why I can't map any of this crap out in my head, because it's not, you know, there's no rhyme or reason for it.
Right.
So that's been really cool. I still love Alan having to write himself like an escape, basically, to try to proceed further along. I've made it to the subway. I did also complete that first piece of DLC. The Night Springs DLC. It's really fantastic. Good. Oh my god, is that thing crazy.
The music, the voice acting, the presentation, everything is
While I was playing it, I was thinking of Studio 51, the candy
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Lollipop Chainsaw. That same feeling with like the bopping music and stuff like that, and everything's being all happy and stuff. And when you go to accessorize in the room that you walk into to accessorize, I started laughing so hard. It's like, this is so stupid. And it came at the perfect time, because this entire time I've been in this depressing area of Alan Wake 2, and now I'm playing this super bubbly thing, and I think it only took me like 20-30 minutes to get through it. It's not very long.
Seeing those voice actors as well, like, because spoiler alert, Alan is in that episode, seeing them get to play completely different versions of themselves, like, and voice act differently because they're in this fictional world, it's so great.
Well, that, and I already found a book. Oh god, I thought I was going to write down his name and I just forgot. The Doctor from Control that disappears.
Yes, the book written by him.
Yeah. I was like, this is great. I love how this is all timed together. I'm really enjoying Alan Wake. I don't want to spoil anything about it because it's been very fun. The writing has just been great. Yep. I just want more. But yeah, I'm as far as the subway right now, and that's where I left off at this point.
We are literally at the exact same place then.
Okay. So cool. This seems like a good place to stop for right now. That, and my kids wanted to do something on the Xbox. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna call it there. But my last big game that I played, because I did beat East 10, I asked my daughter to pick, hey, which of the Christmas video games that you guys got me do you want me to play? And it was a draw between Star Wars Outlaws and Dragon Age Veilguard. And my daughter decided that I'm going to be playing Dragon Age Veilguard.
Okay.
I was like, all right, cool. Let's pop this in and get this going. I have chosen to play as a Kunari, which I think I did on Inquisition as well. Because I think Inquisition is the first time you could choose to play as that.
I think so.
Species. I like everyone else that I've heard talk about this game so far. I don't remember a ton about the previous games. It has been too long. And that's kind of the first gripe I want to bring up, is I think unless we're going to get another Dragon Age game here in like the next year or two, I think they need to stop trying to have these games be intertwined, because it's not working. Unless they're going to re-release all the previous games, like do a Dragon Age trilogy HD remake kind of thing. They've lost the flow on it, and Dragon Age has always kind of seemed like this second fiddle kind of thing, where it's like it's Mass Effect, and then if we have time, it's Dragon Age.
Well, and like, because the thing that Mass Effect had that helped so much, it was always Shepard through the first 3 games. In the first 3 Dragon Age games, it's 3 different characters. So,
across 3 different video game consoles.
Yeah, so like it's hard for them to really kind of build anything. They're trying to build stuff of like, oh, the Grey Wardens, and oh, this stuff with the Fade, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, but like I'm having a hard time kind of connecting all of that stuff together in a way that feels kind of interesting.
Now, I don't with that, like, I don't have an issue with what's happening so far in Veilguard, story-wise. You do character creation was pretty cool. It was pretty in depth. Not as in depth as I would like it to be. I heard a lot of people talk up this character creator, and I was kind of surprised at how not in depth it was in some areas.
It's like
considering
not on
how
the
much it's
level
been talked up.
of like Baldur's Gate 3, which I think is kind of the recent standout.
But even before Baldur's Gate 3, like I feel like you have a lot of input with like facial structure and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get off of your face, like the rest of your body, it's like you move a slider kind of, and that makes like some slight adjustments, and that's it.
Well, like do you have a bulky body or a thin body?
Like I would also talk about Cyberpunk, as much as I give that game nothing but yang. Like that character creator was pretty in depth.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was weird. But I did create my character. Once you get done creating your character, you do get to choose like different factions that you can be tied to. Because there's like you could choose to be a Grey Warden, a Veil Jumper, a Shadow Dragon, Lords of Fortune, the Morn Watch, or the Anti-Van Crows.
Interesting.
I don't know about you guys, but there was only like one of those things.
The Grey Wardens is the only one that I like. My brain tickles a little bit of like, I remember that.
Yeah, because you were a Grey Warden in Dragon Age Origins.
Right.
So
that's true. Yep. Okay.
So,
it's coming back to me now. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing too, because there's certain things like you fight Darkspawn in this game.
Okay, sure.
And
I remember them.
And I saw one, and I was like, "Is that a Darkspawn?" And yeah, sure enough, they confirmed that yes, this is a Darkspawn. And you start fighting it, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, though. I thought the thing that made Darkspawn such a pain to deal with, besides their numbers, was the fact that if you weren't a Grey Warden, you couldn't kill a Darkspawn."
Sure.
And my character has not gone. They're not a Grey Warden. They did not go through that rite of taking in Darkspawn blood. Spoilers from a game from 20 years ago.
Right.
So like, they shouldn't have that ability. But maybe I'm not remembering it correctly because it has been so long. So so some of that stuff just kind of in the background. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. We can kill Darkspawn now, whether I'm right or just not remembering correctly. It's fine.
Right.
But they give you like certain bonuses. Like I chose to go with the Shadow Dragons because I remember in Inquisition I did a lot for trying to free and help slaves. And Taventer, I believe, was the name of that
sounds
town.
right. Yeah.
So I was like, and Shadow Dragons are all about helping the people, helping to free slaves. And the background when you choose that is basically you went against your whole group to save a noble, I think it was a noble, who was trying to help bring down a slave ring. So basically you save that person because they get captured, and while you were saving them, you also saved and freed every slave that was in that area as well.
Oh, okay.
And you ticked off a lot of nobles in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So the the Shadow Dragons took you in and hid you away, and now you're doing this where you're helping Varric. Mm-hmm. Varric is trying to find Solus, who
Makes
people
sense.
don't remember. I think he showed up. Oh boy, I want to say he came in before Inquisitor.
He
but
was
I'm
definitely
not
an
100%.
Inquisition, and like one of the Inquisition DLC things was focused on him. Was he?
Yeah, maybe he was just an Inquisition, but I'm thinking he came in the game before that one.
I'd have to look it up, but I don't remember.
I would too.
He's definitely like a focal point. He's in your party in Inquisition. I remember he's kind of a focal point.
Yep. So I remember him a little bit, but anyway, the whole background behind this is that you have Varric and another dwarven scout. Oh boy, I forgot her name already. Harbor, who is also from Inquisition.
Oh, okay.
And those two characters are at the start of this one, and you are going after Solus to stop him because he is trying to, from your perspective, do something with the Fade, because he's trying to, I think, finish sealing off the old elven gods from millennia ago that he sealed away, kind of thing.
Also, I'm laughing here because I like that the only character that has really been a constant throughout all four of these games is Varric, of all of the characters.
Which isn't the second one entirely like a false narrator story told from his perspective?
It's not necessarily like a false narrator one. It's like a tall tale more than anything else. Of like, let me tell you, the how this hero saved this city.
If I remember correctly, in a very funny way, you'll hear Varric start to tell a tale, and then you'll hear somebody else say, "Wait a minute, that's not how that happened."
Yeah.
And then something will change, like the enemy wasn't as tall as he was originally saying in the in the cutscene that you were watching or whatever. It would change in a funny way. I never had issues with Varric. I thought maybe sometimes he did talk a little too much, but I thought some of the story stuff that he did was kind of funny as well.
Torek in chat says Varric wasn't even in the first game.
No, not in the first one. He was in the second one.
Okay, I don't even remember. That's how strong of a character he is. It's like, he's been around forever. He's great storyteller.
Yeah. He's exactly the great unifying.
One great unifying character, Sandal. Enchantment. Thank you, Torek.
So the game starts out with you 2 or 3 trying to stop Solus. Things go haywire. Solus gets trapped in the Fade in the prison that he was trying to help, I guess, like thicken or seal up better or whatever.
Two of the elders.
Yes. 2 of the evil gods that he sealed away came out when he got shoved in, and now your character can talk to Solus in the Fade because you lost some blood where the ritual was happening.
Sure.
So because you dropped just enough blood, he can do some magic with it to contact you, but he can't hurt you as much as he would like to.
Sure.
So it's this weird thing. But story-wise, like, I don't mind it so far. Gameplay, everything's been linear so far. I heard a couple of people say that it starts out pretty linear, and then you start to get to more open maps where you can start exploring more.
Okay.
You just have to work up to that, which I don't have an issue with. I am playing as a mage. I don't think I normally start as a mage. I think I usually go rogue, or I go like two-handed, biggest weapon I can find kind of character. So playing as a mage has been interesting. You start out with like a staff, and then you've got like a dagger and like this orb that you can throw.
Okay.
And the orb can take on different elemental properties depending on what you have equipped. Like you start out it starts out as ice. I found one later on that did like necrotic damage, and now I have like a fireball basically that I'm flinging back and forth. You hit an enemy like 3 times with this orb, you hit them with the dagger, and then they blow up because hitting them 3 times with the orb gave them like this bomb status, and the dagger is what sets off the bomb on the enemy.
Sure. Okay.
I have no clue how any of this works yet. Like I'm just screwing around figuring it out. When you're playing with a scepter, because you can switch back and forth, you just hit down on the D-pad and you can switch back and forth between these weapons. You're basically just shooting energy from the end of your scepter at enemies. For magic, or to use any kind of ability, I'm assuming it's the same for all 3 classes, warrior, rogue, and mage. You hold down R1, it stops time, and you get like a little circle chart that pops up. All of your abilities are on the bottom. The 2 other party members that you have, they're on the sides, and each person can have like 4 abilities each. And
so
then you have like
the
an
standard
ultimate.
BioWare thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, let's see if I wrote anything about it. I don't have anything major to really talk about. It's been interesting so far. I've been enjoying it.
It sounds okay. Sounds like
it's serviceable so far. Like I didn't have any real big expectations for it because it seems like this thing went through a lot to get to this point.
Yeah.
So I was kind of hoping it would be fine, and it seems like it's fine.
Yeah.
One thing I will point out is that you eventually get a like you find clothing options, and I can't remember in MMOs where you could change your armor so that it all looks like one type, even if you have different types of armor on. Transmog, thank you. I could not think of that word. So you can kind of do that, so that way you can have this armor that always looks the same no matter what you actually have equipped on. They have the Kirkland armor as one of the ones that you can equip, which is the Dead Space armor from that second Dragon Age game.
I thought you were going to say it's a Costco armor, because I was like, Kirkland brand. What?
No, it's the Dead Space armor, and if nobody remembers, it's Dead Space 1 Isaac's armor, and you have that little like plaque right here that doesn't do anything for you. I have not found the helmet, but if it has the helmet, I'm going to be super excited because it looks pretty good on these graphics.
That's cool.
But yeah, right now I'm just gonna keep playing. It does have for leveling like a sphere grid kind of. I've just been putting points into things just to kind of see what everything does. The game keeps telling me that I can refund all those points for free at any time.
Okay.
So it kind of seems like they want you to just kind of explore and mess around with it and find something that you like. So I'm just kind of dumping points wherever it looks like it would be cool.
Yeah.
But right now, oh, and one last thing. Morgan has shown up. The other who has been in since Origins.
True.
The other character who has been constant. Because I saw a crow flying, and I'm like, huh. They seem to be spending a lot of camera time on this crow.
That's right.
And it starts flying toward us. I'm like, that's Morgan. And sure enough, she morphs. I'm like,
yeah.
Glad to have you back.
Yay, Morgan.
Okay. So, I don't know who else is in this game.
Yeah.
I do know once you get done with character creation, the first time they do have you try to character create your Inquisitor.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I didn't care. I just whatever default. Yeah.
I don't even. I couldn't pick my Inquisitor out of a lineup. Like I have no idea.
I have a certain hairstyle. That
my Inquisitor doesn't even exist, so
that's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Hit the randomize button.
But I have a certain hairstyle that I pick that they no longer have in this game anymore, and I'm kind of bummed about it. So that sucks. But I can't even make my Inquisitor even if I wanted to. So.
Right.
But yeah, so far, it's been cool.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say. I think I'm only like 2-3 hours into it, so I haven't done a whole lot to really, have an opinion yet. But nothing so far has been like, oh no, this is not good. So that's all I've been playing this week.
All right. All I really had time to play this week is a couple of games of Balatro here and there. I'm working on more decks in general. Right now I'm working on the checkered deck. The one only has hearts and spades in it. So I think I'm like purple stake on that one, I think, at the moment. A lot of the reason why I'm playing this game is I just don't have time to play really anything at the moment. So Balatro is really great of like, cool, I played 2 antes and now I can go do whatever else I need to do. So Balatro's always going to be there for just playing for either an hour or 5 minutes or anything in between, really. So I wish I had more to talk about on this. It's just a lot of like, okay, I haven't played this deck a whole lot of like, I haven't played Plasma deck that much. Okay, let's try some of that. And that's why I'm playing. That's why I'm playing a lot of the checker deck. Is I think I had only cleared white stake on that. I'm like, all right, I should probably play a little bit more of this pretty cool deck at this point. So,
have they released more? I don't even know what you would call them. I guess more scenarios for you to play. Like,
no,
has there been any DLC or anything like that at all?
No. So they've been releasing. They call them Friends of Jimbo. They're free packs that they've been releasing that are card faces for the face cards. And it's like Binding of Isaac, Dave the Diver, Cyberpunk 2077. Like they have a ton out there now. Enter the Gungeon is another one. They've been doing that. Local Thunk has said that they are planning on doing, I think he calls it a gameplay update in 2025. I have no idea what any of that means. Most of his feed at this point is, I don't know if you guys have seen the commercial they put out with the live action Jimbo the Joker that was played by Ben Starr, the voice of the main character of Final Fantasy 16. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. It's the only way that I can describe it. It's ridiculous in kind of the best way possible. Most of his feed is just him responding with screen grabs of that to try and troll people, which is just really great. But yeah, a lot of it is kind of like, I know he is planning on releasing something this year, but my base kind of expectation would be maybe there'll be more Jokers, maybe like another deck maybe some challenges, but other than that, I don't really know what else. It's also kind of like he has to be in sort of a hard position because like how much do you want to mess with a game that continues to just get bigger and bigger as like it has had such a huge response after getting nominated at the Game Awards of people being like, "Oh, a stupid card game. Let me download this stupid card game and try out this stupid card game," and then you always see them tweet like
Followed
6 hours.
by, uh-oh.
Yeah, 6 hours later they're like, "Oh, I get it. Oh no. Oh, I'm in trouble." So like, I wonder how much of that kind of like pushes some of that stuff back of like just let the success ride for a little bit rather than kind of messing with it. So, Balatro's still great. I love it. I have. That's why I've been playing stuff like this and stuff like Halls of Torment. Of just like I have X number of like minutes or a small chunks of time to play stuff right now. I can't sit down and like finish Control or start Alan Wake 2 or like keep going on Metaphor or whatever, like any of these kind of bigger games that I really need to play. I've got 15 minutes in between stuff to do a couple of rounds of Balatro. So
I've been getting closer and closer to buying Halls of Torment.
Halls of Torment is really good.
I've gotten far enough to see that it costs $6.66 on Steam.
It's so on the nose that I sort of respect it. Yeah, Halls of Torment is really good. I hope they get the console version done. It'd be great if it could release this year. I think it's only like 5 people on the team.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see them kind of capitalize on the success they've had so far.
I mean, so. I'll just do what I did for Vampire Survivors. I will buy it on Steam, I will play it, and then it'll come out on Xbox, and I'll buy it there and play it, and then it'll come out on PlayStation, and then I'll buy it there and play it.
Again. Okay. Oh no, woe is me. Yeah. All right, but that's all I've been playing this week. So let's take a break.
Yep.
I want to say too, and I forgot to bring this up. So the reason why you all got to see that awesome ass N7 trench coat that I saw was because in my case I have a code for Dragon Age Veilguard. They give you a code for 20% off their store, their BioWare gear store.
All right.
So I was like, oh, okay, let me go check out their store. I haven't checked out anything BioWare in forever, and I saw that trench coat and like, damn, that looks nice. And then I saw it was $495. I'm like, damn, that's expensive.
I'm leaving this page. All right, hold on. I got to take a quick bio break. I'll be right back.
Good.
Yep.
My wife came in here afterwards because she was taking over the computer so that way she could play Sims. And she was looking at it because I still had Discord up, and she was looking at that, and she's like, hey, that's a cool looking jacket. I might buy that for him for his birthday. And then she saw my posting about, damn, it's $495, and she was like, fuck, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Like, not in this fucking economy, but
nope.
But yeah, probably I will use my 20% off voucher for something else, because there is a lot of cool stuff on their BioWare store. Like I said, I haven't checked out their store in a very long time.
Same, to be honest. Okay.
So
look, I'm sorry that you couldn't get comfortable.
Oh boy. But yeah, that DLC, I hope they're for Alan Wake 2. I'm kind of curious. It sounds like there's at least 2 more episodes, maybe 3 more.
I think there's 4.
Yeah. I hope they're all just as weirdly off the rails as that was for whatever unique perspective they're going for, because my God, was that fun.
Sorry, 3 standalone stories.
Okay.
I do like the fact that Martian Manhunter is getting work still. I will say that much.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the guy who played the Martian Manhunter in the Supergirl TV show.
Yep. God, I love Alan Wake. I love Remedy in general. A lot of their story writing has been really good.
Uh-huh.
I even liked Quantum Break, which apparently not a lot of people did for some reason. And I still don't understand why.
I love that game.
And I can't wait for Control 2. It's going to be so great.
I mean, at this point, I'm just excited about Fire Control, wherever it is called.
Yeah, that shooter thing.
Yeah.
I need to look up on that. Yeah, I hear everyone talk about it, and I've just never even looked into it. That's supposed to come out sometime this year, everyone was saying?
Yeah, I think it's penciled in for later this year, I believe.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Are you guys ready for the rest of this?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just
I guess.
looking at Firebreak news.
Hmm.
'Cause why not?
Yeah.
Dude, in the talk show, having them act out that talk show, some of that was... It was the best kind of cringe ever. Anyway, sorry. Yes, I'm ready. I just saw a picture of that again. It was like, oh my god, that was great.
All right, getting started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of January 20th, 2025. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out on the personal computer. This is one of those cases where it's like, it's that on the PC. It has all the like 4-letter acronyms of like DLSS and wireless DualSense support and kind of all the stuff. Like, it really looks good on PS5. So assuming if you have a halfway great PC, this probably looks incredible.
You want to see what Tress Effects does to Sephiroth's hair?
That's
a cut.
Oh.
Gosh.
I will say, I'm going to be mean right now.
Okay.
I don't think this is going to sell very well because it's already like 2 years late, essentially. Which I hope makes every company more aware of, maybe release it on everything. Like,
oh, Square's been out there.
I know they've been talking about it for a while,
especially over the last couple.
It did not meet expectations.
Well, they didn't. They went even further than not meeting expectations this time. Of like, maybe the single console exclusivity didn't really necessarily help us this time. I think they were expecting Final Fantasy VII being a big PlayStation hit, releasing this on PlayStation platforms only to just be like, yeah, it's gonna do just fine. And I think a lot of people, understandably, after finishing the first one and realizing it wasn't the full game, a lot of people went into this one being like, I'm just not going to buy it. I'm going to wait until you put a triple pack out, and I'll do that.
Triple pack on one disc for like, $20 or whatever per game.
I mean, this game didn't even come on one disc, so I don't know how many discs that's going to be. So yeah.
I know. I think the problem here is Sony have had this handshake agreement in place with Square, like way back when they were like, yo, you move that Final Fantasy VII, you move that off Nintendo, you give it to us on this PlayStation thingy-majig, we'll write you a check for $200,000 right now. Yo, that Final Fantasy VIII, $200,000. That Final Fantasy IX, $200,000. And I think they've just been writing checks for $200,000 this whole time, not, exclusivity. Here's $200,000, and not thinking, oh, now it costs $70 bajillion to make the game, so maybe. My guess is the check wasn't big enough. Like, that's probably the problem.
I think the reception for the two Final Fantasy VII games have both been, I'd say, largely good. I think they have reviewed well. I just think the sales aren't there. Square has always had a problem with Final Fantasy VII. The original sold well, and kind of nothing else that's been Final Fantasy VII related, like the PSP game, whatever that one was called.
Dirge of Cerberus.
Crisis Core, not Dirge of Cerberus.
Cerberus was a PS2 game.
Like everything other than Crisis Core hasn't sold well. Like, if you look like something like Dirge of Cerberus, it has been disastrous. And I think
it's not just this though either. It's like remember when Tomb Raider, they were like, did not meet expectations. It's like, what expectations do you have?
I think when you look at Final Fantasy VII, I think even if you're outside of Square Enix's kind of unrealistic expectations, you're probably saying, okay, a brand new Final Fantasy VII remake, probably going to sell pretty well. And the first one sold fine, but it wasn't really like... I don't think anybody's going to have like a burner for a JRPG again. Metaphor is probably the last one that came close-ish. Persona 5 did really well, but like nothing... It's going to have to... Like Baldur's Gate 3 did really well for a turn-based RPG, but like still not like Final Fantasy 7 did, where it's just like an industry like blowout. So
yeah.
It's tough because I don't know how you communicate better that these are games you should play. I'm not sure. It's in a weird spot, so we'll see. Other game here we have coming out this week: Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, Switch, and PC. It's a remake of the Dreamcast N64 title. What did that come out on? PS2?
I have no clue. I've never even like the original
Power
Episode
Battles,
1.
Original PlayStation. It would have been.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is a remaster of that.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
People really
Love these
loved
games.
this original one, and I'm right there with you, Nib. I've never heard of this in my entire life. And people are like, yeah!
It's Streets of Rage, except it's Jedi themed.
Okay, I can get behind that, sure.
It's got like, watching the video you have up, it's got like some weird Mario Party vibes.
Mm-hmm. Some
side-scrolling
like business.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing mini games while doing
it's because they've softened everything. Because everything is softened. Because let me tell you, Jar Jar's head used to just be 4 squares on the original PlayStation.
That's true. Yeah. So that's coming out this week. 2 news stories this week. So let's start off here with the big one. Nintendo has finally officially revealed the Switch successor, as they've been calling it for the last couple of months here, formerly called the Nintendo Switch 2. It's a 2-minute and 22-second video, which, wink, but largely a non-informational video here. You get a bunch of glamour shots of the new console. It's larger. The Joy-Cons are larger. And that's kind of all we know. It has a different sort of stand hinge thing. The Joy-Cons attach to the Switch 2 magnetically this time instead of sliding on those rails, which was surprised number of people online that were like, oh, thank God, those rails caused such a problem originally. And I was like, this is the first I feel like I'm hearing of.
I've had a lot of people complain about it.
Oh, really? Like they were having like connection issues, or?
No, the rails are really flimsy. Like they can wear down really quick. So when you try and slide it on, it doesn't have it like when you slide it on, when you get a brand new Switch and you get that solid click and you know it's in there, it gets to the point where you'll slide it on, pick up the Switch, and they will remain standing still like Wile E. Coyote while you walk away with a screen, essentially.
Right. Okay.
So I mostly use the Pro Controller, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
like,
I do
never
the same thing.
remove the Joy-Cons that often.
Yeah. Okay, that's
I will
interesting.
say that the video did make me think of vacuum forming back in school.
Yes.
Anytime I see something like that where it's like plastic and it shapes itself, I'm actually vacuum forming, baby.
I watched a lot of How It's Made taking naps. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually tried to piece together size-wise, even though we don't have like any good measurements or anything in the video, but I was like, I think that might be like the same size as the Portal.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe a little bigger.
Right. It doesn't seem like massively bigger than the Switch 1, but it does seem like it's not one of those things where it's like, we made the bezel shorter, haha, and it's like, no, it does look like it is at least a little bit bigger than the Switch 1. So there is a USB port on the top, which is new. There's still basically the bottom of the unit looks exactly the same as the Switch 1. The top looks a little bit different, and it has a USB port on the top of it. I like that one of the big rumors that came out in the last couple of weeks here was that the new Joy-Cons were going to be able to function as a mouse. You saw somebody basically holding it like a mouse on a table and clicking it as it were a mouse. This trailer looks like it sort of verifies some of that, which I think is interesting. That seems like kind of a neat idea. Nintendo again reconfirms that the Switch 2 will play physical and digital Switch 1 games. So they do a very specific thing in this trailer of putting a Switch 1 cartridge into the top of the Switch 2. So we'll see how that goes. People are freaking out because they give the same exact warning here that literally every backwards compatible console has, which is, quote, certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2, end quote. Look at literally every BC console that just does it. There's going to be one game that's just going to be a little bit squirrely or not load at all, and that's what they're just covering there.
Maybe go take your Dune 2000 CD and put it in your computer and see how that goes.
That's right. That's right. And that's really all we saw. We saw footage here of what appears to be a new Mario Kart game, best I can tell, but I kind of can't tell the difference. And then they say more information on Switch 2 software is set for a Nintendo Direct presentation on April 2nd. And we'll see you in a couple months. So that's all we got. We got no price. We have no window other than 2025. We have no performance
launch lineup.
We got nothing. So
just fine, whatever.
I have been pretty disappointed by the reaction, and this isn't just from like reactionary YouTubers that are trying to make you money to make you mad to get them money, which I'm pushing my soapbox away. No, get out of here. But it's really from like a lot of people that have been in the industry for a while, or a lot of people I follow on social media, which I should probably not do anymore, of people that are like, this is a real like nothing burger of an announcement because like it's just a bigger Switch. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Nintendo's really gonna shake up things with the best selling console of all time. They're really just gonna shake it up here and just reinvent the wheel on, for as much as
maybe
for as much as
how Nintendo can be.
Yeah, but they don't do that when they have a winning formula. Like they like when all of those Game Boys were coming out, it was like, this one's in color, but it's a Game Boy. This one has a light in it, but it's a Game Boy. Like
this one has 2 screens, but it's a Game Boy.
Exactly. Like that was still revolutionary, but like it's still a Game Boy. And like I think you'll see the pendulum swing the other way, where it's a Switch, it has a dock, it has the Joy-Cons, it plays your Switch 1 games. You'll probably see the pendulum swing towards game innovation, I think, rather than hardware innovation, because as much as Sony continues to say like, the Switch sold 105 million units. Well, the PS2 we just sold like 2 million more. The PS2 sold 106 million. I mean, we forgot to tell you. It's like, okay, shut up, Sony. But like the Switch 1 is the best selling piece of console hardware of all time. You don't mess that up and you don't make major changes. What you do is you try not to repeat the Wii U thing, where people are like, oh, it's because people were saying like, why not call it the Super Nintendo Switch, which is an incredibly stupid name, or like, why wouldn't you treat it like the Wii U? Because the Wii U failed because they didn't make it so John Q. Street Fighter fan going to Target to look for a new console, they were just like, oh, it's a different screen for the Wii. I already have a Wii, and I don't really play it that much. No big deal. Like, they needed to come out there and say, it's the Switch 2. It's the newer thing of the thing you love. But it's still the thing you love. So
they should have just went hard into like, yeah, this is the 2 Switch, and the next one is a 3-way Switch.
Yeah, the tri-Switch. Yeah, but like... Yeah. I
have the dimmer Switch accessory over here.
Right, like I don't think people really understand how muddied the waters can be, and these are people that lived through the Wii U. where the big refrain was, oh, it's just another Wii, right? It's like, no, it's a new console, and they're like, well, I already have a Wii, don't worry about it. So like, they really need to separate that from the original Switch and make it very clear that yes, this is a brand new thing. And some of that I'm sure will help over time, of like, it's more powerful, hopefully, better battery life, hopefully, it has all the betters and mores that you are sort of expecting it to. But
I mean, the big thing is going to be what Nintendo puts on it. Like, it's always the case. Like, I like my Xbox. I like PC gaming. I like big franchises. But nobody, not even Sony, with its premium single player experiences, the quote unquote Sony game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just take one Nintendo game, and I'm choosing this one specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart 8,
mm-hmm.
across its iterations, has sold around about $71.2 million. 71.2 million copies.
Sure.
Assuming that, let's say, of the game price, $40 of that is profit at this point. So not including shipping, all that other stuff, ignoring that. $40. 40 times 71.36, which is the supposed number, is $2.8 billion.
Right.
Off one game.
Right, across multiple hardware iterations.
Yeah. Like two. Switch and Wii U.
Yeah, because that wasn't a Wii game.
Nope, it wasn't a Wii game. It was a Wii U that sold 8.46 million on a dead console.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Nintendo can do what Nintendo wants to do because they've got 2.8 billion from one game.
Mm-hmm. It's not even like a mainline Mario game. Like,
no.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
I am like, this is the thing that's going to push me off social media, to be completely transparent, is the number of people that are like gearing up for 10 years of doom and gloom about the Switch 2 not being as impressive or wild or genre breaking or hardware breaking. They're like, it just looks like a Steam Deck. And it's like, yeah, it's a handheld
Steam
console.
Deck looks like a Switch.
You want to say the Steam Deck's been chasing the Switch.
So does the Asus whatever, and the like LG, who cares? Like, they all, it's a handheld thing. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And people are like, oh, I really miss the red and the blue Joy-Cons. Shut up. Shut up. I don't even
I'm just
get myself worked up into a lather about
it's the soapbox that we talked about previously, where literally negativity sells.
Yeah, exactly. But it's even
conversation.
like, to me, it's not even like, you can smell like a reactionary YouTuber coming from a mile away for a number of reasons. But like, these are even like journalists that I follow. They're like, I can't believe they came out with like such a soft launch. It's like, it's not even launch. It's a shut up trailer. It's a trailer of the, like, yes, it's coming. You guys haven't been reading our press releases. Here it is. Shut up. Like, more will come in April. What is going to come? I don't know.
Yeah,
games, probably.
Hopefully.
I probably, just because I never am, probably not day one. But like I said, it's not because it's Nintendo or anything. However, I am excited to hear, is like, what is the, like, do they have a different gimmick for this one? Right. What is it going to be like? How does it actually play? The fact that everyone's like, yeah, it should be about as powerful as a PS4. Cool.
That's incredible. A PS4 I can carry? Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and also, like, the thing is, like, if it's just a more powerful Switch, that sounds pretty great. The Switch is a great piece of tech that's just underpowered, especially after living for, whatever, 7-8 years at this point. So, like, you tell me that this is just a more powerful Switch. Cool. That's a great selling point.
Yeah.
That's why I
hear people crying about, the new NVIDIA cards that are coming out. It's like, oh, it's just more powerful.
Right. Like, it's just, yeah. I could potentially be day one for this, depending on if there's any sort of like performance enhancements for Switch 1 games. I could work through some of my Switch 1 backlog with this. But for me, the thing that's going to really come down to it is price. I think especially with the Steam Deck
Yeah.
and Valve talking about releasing Steam OS sort of publicly, I think that changes a lot of stuff of like, well, yeah, I could spend $400 to $500 on a Switch 2, or I could buy a Steam Deck or like a more powerful Steam Deck competitor that runs the Steam OS and have my whole Steam library there, which seems like a pretty attractive proposition. So, not sure. My hope is that they come in around $400. Anything below that is just a no-brainer, and you're probably just smash that market wide open again. Anything above $400 is probably going to be like,
let's see what you got.
Yeah. Like how much more powerful? How much? So we'll see. Excited. We're probably not going to talk too much more about it. I love the leaks that are coming out and like the rumors and everything about the Switch. But we probably won't talk too much more about this until the April stuff, just because so many of the leaks and rumors have been either on the money or just so bonkers about like how things will be that I'm tickled by a lot of like Halo Infinite is going to be on Switch too, and it's like that would be great if it was true, but who knows.
I mean, Microsoft wants Game Pass on as many platforms as possible, and this is a good one. I mean, it's probably not as powerful as the S,
right?
But if you can run Game Pass games on it, then great. Let Microsoft do that deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So find out more on April 2nd, 2025 for the Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. We do have one more news story here that initially sounds like a negative, but kind of turns into a positive in the way that I don't think we really see in the industry much anymore. Future Lab, the developers of Power Wash Simulator, came out this week. The CEO of Future Lab, Kirsty Rigdon, came out this week, and she said that her studio is going to be dropping support for, not continuing support. That's this specifics here is important for Power Wash Simulator VR. If anyone doesn't know, everything up until this point in Power Wash Simulator, I think with maybe one or two exceptions, everything has been playable in VR. And I think that's multiple platforms on PC, and I think PSVR 1, and I don't remember if it came over to 2 or not. But she said, we love and we believe in VR. We just can't continue to support Power Wash Simulator in VR anymore. And I've seen the Power Wash community complain about it because it's like, all right, we put out a new Shrek DLC pack. 6 months later, now it's playable in VR and like has some problems. So they were very clearly kind of struggling to make that stuff work. The interesting thing, though, is she says, quote, "We've been faced with a crossroads. We have a truly excellent and kind VR team. We're working on a platform which costs us more than it makes, while also having a list of job openings that we're looking to be filled on other projects. We took the decision to redeploy our VR team into those other projects/roles. While I would love to live in a world where we could support Power Wash Simulator on every platform going, I will always choose job security for my team every time. While I know that you must be so disappointed, I also know that if you were in my position, you would have made the same decision." End quote. It's really like this is like the bar is in hell, but I really appreciate her coming out and being like, these are members of my team, and I would like to keep them on my team and employed, as opposed to just like churn through people and burn them out and toss them to the side. So like, I already like Power Wash Simulator. I already liked this studio, but like that makes me respect them a whole hell of a lot more. Just to say like, we're not continuing support for the VR side of it, but I'm gonna support my team, and you should make those choices too. And it's like, hell yeah, man, good on you. So a story that sort of started as a bummer, but I think at the end of it turned out to be way more positive than I was expecting. So good on her. Good on the I also think this is the first time I've heard of the CEO of Future Lab, so I'm pretty happy that the first time I've heard her say anything is like, yeah, I'm protecting my team. What of it? It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, cool, good on you.
And like, let's face it, open, honest, and like explaining exactly. It's the rugby thing where the referee gets on the mic and says, "This was a foul. This is why it was a foul. This is why it was called that way."
Right.
Like, it's that, but it's video games. It's like, yo, we're not doing this no more. Here is why. Everybody shut up about it with your stupid theories.
Well, and like she says, she says, we're working on a platform which costs us more than it makes. That's just business, man. Like, it's if it's costing you more than it makes for like they're being published by Square Enix, but like it's still a fairly small team, so like you can't just be flushing money down the toilet every month or every quarter. Like, that's just not how it's gonna go. So I give her a lot of credit. I think that was pretty cool.
It reminds me a little bit of the Helldivers team head, the CEO there, coming out and saying, "Yo, this isn't our decision.
Right.
Spoilers.
Wink.
Don't be angry at us."
Right. All right, that's all of our news stories for this week, which means that's the end of our episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including a link to our Discord server, discord.tvgp.tv. Come join the best community on the internet and chat about some cool stuff, some cool games. Chat about watch us as we are lightly ribbing each other about the Fantasy League this year, the video game Fantasy League, not football.
So
that would not be us.
Quick shout out to Bill here. I played Lethal Company. I forgot to talk about Lethal Company. I played Lethal Company. Whatever. It was fun and stupid. And we were talking while we were playing that about Dynasty Warriors and how, like, after seeing the trailer on this show, I was like, oh no.
Oh no, that's gonna be a hit.
Oh no, I really want to play it now. And then, like, I was explaining to Ash what they used to look like versus what they look like now.
Yes.
And it's like, this is what they used to look like little robot people. Ha ha ha! Funny, cute. Smash them in the air. And then what they look like now.
RTX on.
And then I accidentally came across an IGN review for that game.
Oh yeah.
And it scored
9 out of 10, baby.
Oh dang. Okay. Good pick, Bill. 2 thumbs up. So go check that out over there. Also, don't forget patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers. And thank you for the chat for the happy 900s.
Yes, thank you for happy 900. Appreciate it. $5 a month tier is a recommended one. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated. If you can't support us financially, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. That stuff really does help. Follow us on Twitch. You'll get a notification when we go live on Twitch or YouTube. Rate and review us wherever you can, whatever podcatcher you can, that lets you do that. Again, positive reviews. If you have a negative review, I don't like yell about it on social media or something, whatever. And like chat said, thank you very much everyone for 900 episode celebration. It's been a long 900 weeks for this show, but I'm very happy that it's sort of a funny time for it to happen, because I feel like we kind of did our thanking at the end of last year at our second Game of the Year episode. But just a quick thank you to everyone who listens. That we do greatly appreciate it. And 900 episodes is just I've been on all of them, and it sounds like a ridiculous number of just like, yep, 900 episodes of this thing that isn't a daily podcast. So I greatly appreciate everybody listening, and I do greatly appreciate everyone being the best community on the internet. People might think that I'm lying about that. I'm not. They're all very cool. So thank you again. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
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 All right, Nimp. What are your titles?
I have... Oh, go away, Smudge. Where's Sophie? Microsoft Blue Sky. Friendly Fire is on. The Yearn for the Mines. The Nightmare Factory. And this one is probably going to live in the DMZ zone. Sorry, I said zone twice, even though
Uh-huh.
The C word is for Cheevos.
No, C word is Cheevo is on my list too. I think it stays.
I'll think about it as Moon tells us his title.
In the words of streamers everywhere, where's Sophie?
Mm-hmm.
Accidentally, and I went with Microsoft Blue rather than Sky.
I write down the exact thing. The C word is Cheevos. I have.
Today, I'm just saying.
I have Never the Peacekeepers. Where's Sophie? And then, against my will, the C word is Cheevos.
I'm sorry. Where's Sophie? I think is good. I think the C word is Cheevo.
Any other week we'd be saying where's Sophie.
Uh-huh.
But this week we say get out of the gutter. The word is Cheevos.
Yes.
Teaching people.
Fine with it.
No, he's so not fine with it. It's great.
I am circling it. Gritting my teeth.
Thank you.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
It's family friendly. Don't worry.
God, I hope so. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 900 for January 20th, 2025. The C word is Cheevos.
I got one called Monster Hunter.
Can you say that?
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for
I'm
listening
English.
and watching.
I call all of my best friends Cheevos all the time.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I got plenty Cheevos running around here.
Right. In Australia, it's like it means friend.
Yeah, same in England, dude.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We do greatly appreciate it. Like Blue Cooper says, here's to 900 more. We'll see you all next week.
100
Bye.
more. You missed the plan.
Bye.